Welcome, the true Hebrews United of the Lord, Yeshua. Should be love, holiness, instructors, discipleship, drill sergeant. About to get into the book. Day 5 of Feast of Unleavened Bread. Day 5. Thank the Almighty, pressing through all 7 days, seeking the Almighty all 7 days. I hope you guys are as well. Getting into that prayer, getting into those scriptures, getting into those fellowshipping and breaking unleavened bread with the brothers and sisters across the planet. Definitely give all honor through Yah to Yah, through his son Yeshua Mashiach, all the ministers out there, all the brothers and sisters. They keep pressing. It's a tough route when you see what the world is able to do, and it feels like you're limited because you're not able to make money the same way, or you're not able to obtain certain things because we live the way of righteousness. But remember, our reward is in heaven. Our reward is in heaven, and that's the reward we're looking for. And yes, we may have 20, 30, 60, 80 more years on this planet, but we should be looking for a reward in the kingdom, just like Abraham was looking for a place who the builder was not made with man's hands. He was looking for the Almighty's place, and we're looking for that rest as well. So definitely thank all you guys out there still pressing, still not eating unleavened bread, still fellowshipping with the brothers. 7-day service. It's easy to put up some Christmas lights. It's easy to decorate and, you know, cook some turkey for some Thanksgiving. But to meet up 7 days with brothers and sisters, it's a major blessing. But you have work, you got this, you got the feast, you got to do this, and it's it throws a wrench in your normal schedule. And so it's still being a sacrifice, but it is a blessing to be with the brothers and sisters 7 days straight. Every time we do it, and I'm with the brothers and sisters, and we have service all 8 days, it's a major blessing, you know, Passover and the 7-day feast. So I definitely thank the Almighty for that. And I'm going to hit you up with a couple of scriptures. So Ephesians, we're going to start off with Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 1. Paul, the apostle of Yeshua Mashiach, by the will of the Almighty, to the saints which are at Ephesus, to the faithful in Mashiach Yeshua. Grace be unto you and peace from Almighty our Father and from the Lord Yeshua Mashiach. Blessed be the Almighty and the Father of our Lord Yeshua Mashiach, who have blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Mashiach. Check this out. According to he has chosen us in him. He has chosen us in him. This is verse 4. Before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy without blame before him in love. So let me hit on two things. Before he created the sun, the earth, it says in the beginning the Almighty created the heavens and the earth. And then after that, a couple of days later, he creates the sun and the moon. So this is why we don't do with no horoscopes, no tarot cards, no palm readers, no, oh, you're a Capricorn, you're a Cancer, all that foolishness. We don't deal with that stuff. We don't deal with no horoscopes. We don't let all that stuff go. That is in the same category as witchcrafts. Because right here it says, I knew you before I called you before the foundation of the world, before he made the sun and the moon. So how can you say, oh, you were born at this time, when how the stars and everything line up, you're this and you don't like this and you click well with this and your temperament's this? He knew you before he created the sun, the moon, and the stars, before he created the earth. So I'm going to read verse 4. According to he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame in love. And then he also called us to live holy before the foundation of the world. So let's keep going. Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 1. The words of Jeremiah the son of Hilkiah, the priests that were in Ananoth in the land of Benjamin, to whom a word of the Almighty came in the days of Josiah the son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of the reign. And it came to pass on Jehoiakim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah the son of Josiah, king of Judah, until the carrying away of Jerusalem captive in the 5th month. So this is what this happened. It says, then the word of the Almighty came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou came out the womb I sanctified thee, and I adorned thee to be a prophet unto all nations. So he's telling Jeremiah, before you was even formed, before your mom and your dad came together and you was formed in the belly, I already knew you. And while you were in the belly and before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you and called you the prophet. Now, are we going to say he only knew Jeremiah before he was in the womb? No, he knew. We just read in Ephesians, he knew every person born and died, and every person that will be born. The Almighty already knew these people, what they're going to look at, what they're going to design, if they're going to serve the Almighty, if not, you know, he already knew them. So why would you go by the sun and the moon and the stars if the Almighty knew us before the sun and the moon and the stars? He already knew how I was going to be before the sun. He already knew I'm going to be teaching to you before the sun, the moon, and the stars were even created, before earth was even created. He knows the beginning from the end and the end from the beginning. And number two, this deals with, also condemns abortion. All these people saying shalom, but they're getting abortions because they're ashamed, having sex out of wedlock. That's not right. You're a murderer. You're a murderer. And it says, and we know no murderer shall have that part in the kingdom. Because the Almighty knew that kid. Oh, it's only a couple of cells. No, rather it's just one cell that hasn't divided yet. The Almighty knows that child, and you killed that child. Before the gender was even told, the Almighty knew. I don't care what man says, oh, well, it has to have a heartbeat or it doesn't count. No, the Almighty says, before you came out of the womb, I knew that child. So let's nip that in the butt. But here's another example. The Almighty knew him before he was even formed in the belly. He already knew. So why go by the sun and the moon and the stars? It makes no sense. Now, me explaining why that makes no sense, now I'm going to show you how it's sin. So let's do it. Deuteronomy chapter 18. We're going to start at verse 9. Deuteronomy chapter 18 verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Almighty thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of these nations. Where did you learn, especially you people that believe in the Bible, where did you learn using horoscopes? Who is that of the Almighty? Did the Almighty give you that? Tarot cards and let me read your palm and all that stuff. That's not of the Almighty. Let's see you doing this, observing this. It says, be not, Jeremiah 10 says, be not dismayed at the signs of heaven like the Gentiles. But let's keep going. It says, don't do these abominations. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son to pass through. There we go. Pass through the fire, or using divination. You're using divination, fortune teller, tarot cards, fortune cookies. Leave those fortune cookies alone. Palm reader, all that foolishness. Throwing those bones together and mixing them up, using divination. Let's keep going. Or an observer of times. You doing horoscopes and looking at the stars and alignment, all you an observer of times. Let's keep going. Or an enchanter or a witch. So these people that do a horoscope is no different than people that do a witch. He put, look at this. Pass through the fire, you worshiping Satan, or an observer of times, or an enchanter using witchcraft, so you still serve Satan, or a witch, still serving Satan. All in the same category. Let's keep going. Or a charmer, that's what they do. Or a concealer with filming spirits. You're talking to the dead with a Ouija board, and nowadays they use the voice. Is anyone here? And then it can record at real low voices, and then they play it back, and the demons talk to the people through the voice. You know what I'm saying? Or a wizard or a necromancer. You playing with dead bodies, trying to bring dead people back to life and all that stuff? No, can't be no necromancer. Check this out. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Almighty, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out before thee, thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy Almighty. So we see that the Almighty knew us before the sun, the moon, the stars, the earth. He knew us. You can't be doing no abortion. You can't be doing no necromancer, no witchcraft, nor no horoscopes, nor observer of times. So I just want to hit you guys up with that. Keep pressing, keep striving, keep serving the Almighty. I appreciate you guys. Hey, I love all you guys. Definitely hit me up anytime, 619-501-1375. I thank all the people that do call. There's some people that send me texts and whatnot. I always get back to you. Hey, appreciate it. If I don't answer the congregation phone, just send a text to that number and I should be able to get it and whatnot, and I get back to you. Hopefully I'm a blessing to you as well as you're a blessing to me. Shalom.